Leadership in Focus, powered by BIMT Campus.
Small and medium enterprises are the backbone of Sri Lanka's economy, where you have to be upskilling to earn more skills that is required to stay competitive and earn business growth and venture out to exports markets. Corporate sector plays a significant role that boosting the economy by handling the large organization's growth to support the economy by staying competitive. Both in these two sectors, for an entrepreneur to employees need to upgrade skills to face the numerous challenges. British Institute of Management and Technology, in collaboration with Chartered Management Institute of UK, has designed a unique program with the objective of laying a foundation in the managers, SMEs, HRs, leaders, business owners and startups that balance practical skills, knowledge and confidence needed to perform his or her jobs effectively and efficiently. BIMT Campus invites all business leaders and entrepreneurs to discover the best version of themselves. By improving your inner self, you can effectively lead your business and contribute to our national economy.
Leadership in Focus connects with Mr. Saman Bandara, Senior Partner, Financial Services Assurance Leader, Forensics and Forensic Technology Leader at Ernst & Young, Vietnam Limited. If I may further elaborate Mr. Saman Bandara's profile, Mr. Bandara is a Senior Partner of Ernst & Young, Indochina. He is the Assurance Leader of Ernst & Young, Indochina Financial Services Practice, and also he leads the forensic practice of Ernst & Young, Indochina. He is a Fellow of CA Sri Lanka, Fellow of ACCA, Fellow of CPA Australia, and has a PhD in law. Mr. Bandara also received executive education from Harvard Business School, Stanford, and Harvard Law School. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's also great to know that Mr. Saman Bandara has about 26 years of professional experience in assurance and consulting work and has advised multinational businesses in Vietnam, Singapore, Laos, and Cambodia. It would be interesting, Mr. Bandara, to know about yourself more through a business perspective. What made you be so successful in your career?
Thanks. It's a journey. So now, when you ask that question, I would find it difficult to give you an exact answer. I think it's a combination of hard work and the commitment, and then relentless determination. Coming from Sri Lanka, I mean, as you would agree with me, all the chartered accountancy students are really hard, working very hard to achieve the chartered accountancy designation, and then thereafter, you know, we only want to succeed, and then some people make it, some people give things up during the process, and then I did not have a chance to give up. So that made me who I am today.
How do you compete with foreign talents?
Yeah, that's again, as I said, we have commitment, and then we have the determination, and also there are certain things that we need to keep developing. So it's on a daily basis. I mean, when we compete with foreign talent, like, it depends really on which part of the world we are living. Right now, in my case, I happened to go to Vietnam, and the language became a problem, because in Vietnam, although English is widely spoken, when you work with government entities and the regulatory bodies, because I'm specialized in financial services, I had to start learning Vietnamese language, because that was one of the key things that you need to have in order to get the respect and the recognition from the local bodies. And again, I had no alternative, but because I had a sheer determination of being successful, and then I also saw the opportunity in that part of the world. So I started learning, and then through the journey, communication did not really become a problem, and then also people started appreciating and admiring me, because I mean, if you know Vietnamese people and then the people from that part of the world, even the skin color is a little bit different. They are fairer than us, and then when we really speak in their own language to the extent possible and making efforts, they really start considering you as one of their own people. So that then the success comes to you naturally, because in terms of commitment, in terms of hard work, as Sri Lankans, that is our DNA. So yeah, that's basically how. And then I don't think anyone can compete with Sri Lankans, like as long as we develop our communication to the level that they expect.
Staying motivated is no easy task. How could you retain this self-motivation throughout your entire career?
Basically, yeah, I think motivation is, we need to push ourselves, right? And then also during the process, and then I had to face sheer amount of challenges, and then I also started getting into meditation, and then trying to calm yourself down, because when the competition is too much, one of the things that we cannot do is be calm. And then if we go out of control, and then of course whatever we might have achieved can be lost, right? Yes, so meditation helped me, and thanks to India, so I also started getting into certain spiritual healing programs. And then of course I wanted to heal myself while having to go through all these, because working hard and then keep thinking about success all the time makes you very nervous and anxious. But when you know in the back of your mind that you can make it, and then nobody can stop it, yeah, you get to go. Plus you need to have good bosses. Thankfully, here in Sri Lanka, and then back in when I was working in Singapore, and then when I started working in Vietnam, I was very lucky to have got very good bosses and coaches, and they really made my life upside down in a positive sense. Yeah.
When it comes to developing a successful career, which is more important, experience or qualifications?
Yeah, that's a very important and interesting question. If you look at my CV or my LinkedIn profile, and then you know that I have become successful in my career, and then I have come to the highest level that a professional can go into. And also you will see there is a long list of qualifications that I have achieved. But then if you just keep looking at that one, and then if you think that okay, this guy achieved the success because of his qualification, you might get into you might make wrong decisions. Earlier in my career, I thought having more qualification will make me more successful, which is totally wrong. Now, looking back 25 years, I think I would have been more successful if I had concentrated on experience. The qualifications are important, yeah, because especially I would say the first qualification, the very first qualification that you achieve right after the high school, right, very important, because whether you want to migrate to another country, because sometimes because of difficulties we have in our countries, right, you would want to have a second citizenship or something like that, then you should have done something that is very useful to be able to migrate, right? And then even when you work in another country, even an employer has accepted you, but you still get the acceptance from the government to get a work permit or something like that, then of course you need to have basic qualification. But beyond that, I think experience would be the most important. And then one example is, if you look at Singaporeans, for example, if you look at very successful Singaporeans, you can see that they only have like one or two qualifications. They don't go like us or like this part of the world, Indians, right? So we tend to more focus on education programs, but Singaporeans and then people from that part of the world, they tend to focus more on getting the right amount of experience so that you can wow the bosses and the clients and customers, and then be more efficient, and then be able to bring success to the company. Yeah.
How could you excel in being an excellent team player?
Yeah, because in my business, it's a must. I'm not sure I am the best team player, but still, because if there are, I mean, lot of this is a teamwork, right? Even it's a consulting engagement or an audit engagement. So if I'm the boss, I'm not doing all the detailed works, right? So I will be signing, but then I need to be reviewing the work that other people have done. So I need to be able to coach the people well, and then also I need to make sure that I give them the coaching in a way that they don't feel upset, right? We need to keep people, and then so yeah, it's important. It's a bread and butter of the type of work that I do. Team is the most important. Sometimes I don't know whether it's right to say this in this kind of an interview, but I consider my team is more important than even some of the clients, because without them I won't be able to succeed.
When developing a successful career, does coaching play a significant role?
Exactly, yeah. Like look at anyone, right? Whether athletes, right? World class athletes or big CEOs, right? And then of course we wouldn't be able to know whether they have coaches. Obviously they have. Of course they will be working in the background, but in an accounting career, yeah, I mean, as far as I understand, I would not be able to be anywhere close to where I am if I did not have proper coaching. Coaching is the most important. Yeah, like in a education program, right? The teaching is important, right? If we have a good teacher, we will be able to be more knowledgeable and get good grades and graduate in a program with flying colors, right? But in the work, if you want to excel in the work, get promotions, and then develop your career with flying colors, you really need to have a coach. But it doesn't really matter who the coach is. Somebody you respect, somebody who is really able to understand who you are, and then give some tips to make yourself better.
What are the key challenges that companies face when they are scaling in their business operations internationally, and how does EY assist in navigating these challenges?
So to answer this question, like I will be talking from basically finance perspective. Yeah, like for example, now if you have the company here that wants to venture into other countries, right? And when you set up an operation, and when you also keep carrying the operation, accounting and the regulatory related information, being familiar with that one will need to be very important, right? Hiring people. Now if we have a company here, we won't be able to, like Sri Lankans alone will not be able to understand the regulation. It's very important to understand and then identify the right resources from those country concerned, and then try to understand the regulatory challenges, accounting regulation, etc. Because now sometimes we have this misunderstanding that accounting standards are universal. Yeah, it is universal, but the way they are applied, and then there are local customization, especially in my part of the world, right? They don't use international accounting standards and reporting standard entirely, as it is. So there are customizations. So being knowledgeable about those, and or identifying people who are knowledgeable about it will be the key. Because when you set up a business can be profitable, but if you are non-compliant in a country, right, and then you wouldn't have a long-term future in that country.
What leadership qualities do you think are essential for managing large-scale financial operations both locally and internationally?
I think giving the freedom to the people, right, while keeping an eye on them, right. So if you try to micromanage, then you can't really scale up. But at the same time, if you give full autonomy without having checks and balances, then that can run into problems. Yeah.
We took a very interesting turn of events in this conversation by also pinning in a note as to say, experience also does matter for a successful story. We were in conversation with Mr. Saman Bandara, a senior partner, financial services assurance leader, forensics and forensic technology leader at Ernst & Young Vietnam Limited. Thank you so much for connecting.
Thank you.
CMI is a global accreditation, and it also gives a pathway to gaining the chartered status. Our partnership with BIMT is a very strategic and a very powerful one.
The program has instilled a practical momentum in it. You will gain not only the knowledge, but you will learn how to practically apply it. And joining this program, which will enhance your management skills, which is a requirement of the country.
Harvard did a research few years back, selecting about 500 people from different fields. They are corporate leaders, top athletes, like that. And they put into two quadrants. One is the education, qualification, experience, family background, etc. And that's about 20% your success factor. What is the balance 80%? Is attitude, positive attitude. It's all about softer skills. That's why I like this syllabus. I went through the syllabus. It's one of the best syllabuses. And in fact, in management, this is probably the number one in the world.
The world is really looking for effective corporate leaders.
Leadership is a muscle actually. Everyone born with that muscle. There are some bodybuilders, those who go to gyms and they build their muscle. But leadership muscle you can't see. It's a cognitive level muscle, philosophical level muscle. You have to do the right exercises to develop your muscle. This is a place to develop your muscle.
SMEs are growing, as you know. They are really bogged down with the business operations. And also they are not in a position they can afford for qualified people to recruit. So they concentrate on the business and grow. After sometimes when they grow, they have come to a deadlock-like situation. Their managers, especially middle-level managers, are not qualified. They don't have enough managerial qualifications, experience, and they can't think beyond. The person involved in the program, we are very, very positive. We are very optimistic, and you have very dedicated team here, over here, and they will take this program to the best levels.
Join our dynamic and inclusive learning community at BIMT campus, where we shape the leaders of tomorrow.